Game day in Kansas City with Americans head coach Steve Martinson. Marty, we'll start first of all with the addition Jared Bethune added to the roster. I know this is somebody you've had here a couple times. What are these strong points to his game?
Well, first, he's really dependable. He can play any forward position. He's solid defensively. He hits. He can score goals and make plays. He led his junior team in scoring and top scorer at his college team. So even though the teams weren't real high scoring teams, and we've had him and I know him and trust him. That's the biggest thing.
Jesse Mitchell not on the trip with the team tonight, won't be playing this weekend. How long do you anticipate he'll be out?
I think he'll be back by next weekend. I just think he's got a nagging injury that it's more of a muscle pull. So hopefully he's back in by, after taking 3 or 4 days off, he'll be back and ready to go.
Well, the one thing that Kansas City does have is they got a couple of good young players that can score. Reed, who leads the ECHL in scoring, and Estefan is not that far behind, but that might be the only line that's doing much for them this year.
Yeah. Reed's actually a vet. He's been around for a long time. He's been in Europe. He's been in the American League. Estevan, I think, was, with Newfoundland, and that line is, that line's really good. They're really good, and even though I watch their power play when they're not scoring, they move the puck around. They got a couple of set plays that they do. So, we got to be, who's ever on the ice, and I'll tweak the lines a little bit, depending on if they're matching lines. They've got 4 lines. I'm not sure they're going to dress them all. And we basically got 3 lines and 8D, and I'll use a couple of the D at forward to kind of even things out.
They've been a good road team this year at 5-3, but what's puzzling is their home record. They played 10 games in their building and they've only won 2.
Yeah. Well, they had the rough start with COVID, and then, they got a bunch of guys that have historically, like Boston Lear's been a good player and, a top college scorer. And they got some guys that haven't been scoring for them that typically, have scored goals. So I'm not really sure what's going on with their team, but, obviously we want to shut them down and be solid defensively. And then, we've got a lot of guys that have a history of scoring more goals than they've scored right now. So this is a good opportunity for guys to step up and finish some plays.
Well, the one thing I do remember about our only matchup against these guys was the debut of Kapellmaster. And, he stopped, I think, 36 of 37 shots in a 2-1 win. He was really good against them last time out.
Yeah, he was scheduled to start, but he got hit with a pretty hard shot this morning, kind of brain dead play in our warm up, and so he's questionable. We're waiting. I'm sure he'll be back by Monday, but he may not play tonight. Either way, both our goalies are playing really well, and yeah, the last time we played him, we had a really slow start. We had that period where we're almost out for 2 weeks, and then I thought we came back and played much better in the third. So we just got to be smart. I think last game, I thought the shots were a little bit deceiving. Once I watched the video and saw that we had more puck possession and we ended up missing the shots, missing the net a lot, and they blocked shots, and they didn't really get a lot of, they didn't really get high quality shots. They had the really one good one in overtime, but we just got to play solid defensively and have some other guys chip in on the goals.
Last thing, Marty, Corey Mackin, boy, he's rolling right now. 5-game point streak, had our only goal last time in the win, and had one of the 2 goals in the shootout. I know you're really happy with what he's doing.
Yeah, he's our best forward puck possession guy. He moves his feet really well, and that doesn't stop skating. He's a really hard worker, and I didn't think he was getting enough scoring, and I switched to juggled him up and put him with Asachuk and Franklin. And Franklin is, he can find people. He's a really good passer, and so that line's going to stay the same. And we got to get some scoring out of the other guys too.
They're predicting doom and gloom weather-wise here in DFW. What's it like in KC?
Well, it's beautiful out, but it's cold. And I'm half Norwegian and half Danish. I think the Norwegians always say it's never too cold. You're just not dressed properly. So, I brought my winter clothes. I'm fine. But it is cold out there.
All right, Marty, thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.